In the 1980s, the Swedish Air Force was quite inspired by the successful experience of its foreign counterparts, so it greenlit its own development program for a multi-role combat aircraft. At the time, many planes of this class resembled a Swiss Army knife, combining a bomber, a fighter, and a reconnaissance aircraft in one vehicle. Sweden wanted a versatile aircraft too, but it had a few unique requirements of its own. As was tradition, the task of development was given to the Saab company, the one that made the successful Draken and Viggen. The company's engineers received some rich experience in the past years and knew how to fit within the requirements. The Saab 37 was the first production fighter jet with a canard design. Put simply, canards are an extra pair of smaller wings placed in front of the larger main ones. The company actually had a specific reason for that design choice. Their fighter had to be able to take off from civilian roads that had enough length and width, not just from airfields. The canard design was tested on the Viggen and showed a good balance between combat and takeoff and landing performance levels, so it was deemed a good choice for the next plane. Other requirements for the plane included simple handling and maintenance, advanced tech where possible, reliability, and low cost, at least relatively low, for a modern fighter. The resulting design was pretty unconventional. The aircraft could boast excellent flight performance and a wide choice of available types of suspended armament. At the same time, it was lighter than basically any foreign plane with similar capabilities. The first Gripens took to the skies in 1988. The test flights did discover some issues. The US-supplied flight control system was problematic and even led to an accident. The designers spent a few extra years fixing the aircraft's stability issues and polishing its software. But in that time, the Cold War reached its end. Unlike numerous other projects of the time, the Gripen did enter mass production. One of the reasons for that was that Sweden saw distinct proof of its ideas during the Gulf War. Western aviation destroyed a major part of Iraqi planes before they could take off. The Gripen was originally meant to perform in small, dispersed groups flying in from different bases, which was a notable advantage over its counterparts. Later, the fighter proved to have another major advantage, an extremely short pre-flight check, as low as 20 minutes for the strike version. And finally, the aircraft turned out pretty simple and relatively cheap to service. Of course, it was much more expensive than machines of the previous generation, like the F-5, but it was on par with early modifications of the F-16. All these advantages helped the Gripens to gain wide fame across the world. Many nations purchased this aircraft for their militaries, including South Africa, Hungary, Czechia, Brazil, and Thailand. Not the regular clientele for Saab, we must note. Still, no perfect vehicle exists, and this Swedish multi-role fighter isn't one either. One of the main complaints is the lack of stealth. The aircraft is inferior to many of its counterparts in that regard, partly due to the canard design. Besides, the Gripen has a pretty modest flight range, which isn't surprising for its low mass. Anyways, the machine is still in production, and Saab engineers continue to improve it to help it retain its position as a modern combat machine in the 21st century. In War Thunder, the Gripen is available in several modifications in multiple tech trees, and the latest update added a version for the Royal Thai Air Force.